So through the color psychology that we discussed, you now know why these designers went for certain colors that we saw through the searches. Okay, so now the main question is, how do you create your own color palette? No, pause it. I mean, who placed this part in the beginning of this video? It is supposed to be somewhere in the back. You are fired. So sorry guys, but I hired the worst video editor. Anyways, there's no problem now because I just fired him. Okay, but remember I told you guys we will start discussing color and flyers. Okay, how to pick colors for our flyers. So this video marks the beginning of it, and you know I'll always be honest with you, this video will be very boring. I even got bored recording this video. Okay, but the truth is we can't start manipulating colors on our flyers without knowing the theoretical aspects of colors. That is why we need to start from the beginning, and the beginning is always boring. Okay, so in this video we are going to talk about color theory and mainly color psychology, and at the end of this video you will know why certain colors were chosen. When you go to Pinterest and search any type of flyer for inspiration, you will know why they chose certain colors. Okay, so in this video that's what we'll be talking about. And if you're new here, just know that this is the biggest restaurant full of design chefs, always hungry, and we are always ready to choose to cook or design over Nyash. Yo, who is in the back there saying I'm lying? Anyway, so in order to be part of this community, just hit the subscribe button, and without any further ado, let's jump into this video. So we are going to start with how to pick colors for our flyers, and we all know it's not easy picking colors for flyers, even though it's somehow easy. So let's look at all the process that we will go through, but before that, if you haven't grabbed the motion design course, kindly do so. And those who have decided to be fanfullers and are fooling me in my DM, you just come, you don't show up again, I'll get you. So let's look at them. So these are the steps. Okay, and heads up, spoilers ahead, this video is going to be boring because all you need to do is just grab a pen and a paper. You can jot down some key points or something. Okay, so this is just to introduce you to these steps, and we will go through the color theory and purposely the color psychology, because looking at the first step is the goal. Okay, the industry and then the audience, and then we come to building a color scheme. So the goal, industry, and the audience, and we go to building a color scheme. Practically go to color contrast. This is very important, and the mistakes to avoid. Okay, and Benjamin Franklin speaking, we are not going to use Photoshop in this video. Okay, so if you open Photoshop, close it. All right, so number one is goal, industry, and audience. So before you can start designing a flyer, or let's say any design, okay, you have to know the goal or the purpose of the flyer. You have to know the industry it falls in, and then the audience. And we can't just start doing anything or skip the goal and industry without going through, because when it comes to building a color scheme, you know, we will pick a color based on the goal, the industry, and the audience, and that will take us through color psychology, because you have to consider that. Okay, and we can't just go to color psychology without going to color theory. So you just brush over color theory, and then we look at color psychology in this video. So that's the main purpose of this video. So you are not going to move anything in Photoshop. Okay, so let's look at the goal, industry, and then the audience. So number one, goal, industry, audience. So what is the flyer trying to achieve? What problem are you trying to solve with the flyer? Okay, and your flyer should solve problems. It shouldn't cause problems. You just need to identify the goal or the purpose of the flyer. Is it to create an awareness? Is it an event, promotional flyer? Do you want to create sales with it? Okay, you just need to put this down. That's the first step. You just write it down, because there are certain colors associated with promotion, awareness, events, sales, and all of that. Okay, and then you just consider the industry it falls in. So we got finance, we got tech, because there are certain colors when you use them for tech flyers, tech based flyers, they speak a lot. So education, food, health, corporate, beauty, luxury, product, meditation, arts, especially meditation. you need to use colors. You need to go for colors, that comes with relaxation, comfort, and all of that. You can't use party colors for meditation. Buddha will have problem with you. So we got art, fashion, all of that. Okay, so you just consider the industry it falls under, very important. And we got the audience. So did I spell the audience correct? No, I didn't. Let me just do that. All right, so we got the audience, and the audience create the first impression. Okay, you are designing for a corporate, or let's say a business, and you use neon colors. Let's say the business is trying to showcase their portfolio or something, maybe their services or something, and you just be using neon colors that are for night lifestyle. That will seem disrespect. Okay, and there are certain colors for cultural aspects. There are certain colors that will convey different message in different areas. Okay, for instance, others will see red as love or something, but some will see them as danger. Okay, it is not constant everywhere. It varies. Or maybe you are designing for children. Okay, so you have to use certain colors that will ignite playful, cheerfulness, happiness when the kids see the flyer. Okay, so we are just going to go through that, and with this we just can't go or just tackle this. How do I just know what color goes with playfulness, happiness, children, the elder, or whatever? So we have to go to color psychology, and going to color psychology we have to start from color theory. So the next slide we are going to color theory, and if you've been designing for a while, you have to stop watching, because we are going to learn about primary colors, secondary colors, color wheel. Those are for total beginners, because I'm sure if you've been designing for a while, you know more about color theory. If you don't, you just have to stay in here, because someone is watching right now. If we raise the arm, the hair that we are going to see in the armpit, he shouldn't be watching this color primary makes this color, you get that. No, that's a disrespect. So I'm just giving you a heads up. So let's jump in. So we're here. First slide, what is color theory? Okay, I'm just going to, I know you can see it, but I will read it to you. This is how we used to do presentation back then in college. Okay, so color theory is the back there someone would just prepare the slides and they just do the what do you call it, PowerPoint. It will be on the board. Instead of just summarizing it, it will be reading what's on the board. You will see it, but you will still be reading it to you. We are doing the same thing here. We are not changing anywhere, bro. So color theory is the framework that explains how colors interact, mix, and create visual harmony. Okay, and it combines art, science, and perception to help designers, artists, and communicators use effectively. So this is the foundation. Color theory, you can't just do anything with colors without color theory, understanding color theory. Okay, so we are going to, there will be series of slides in here, but I'll just brush over some of them, because in the subsequent videos that's what they will be based on. So there's no need wasting time in here. Okay, we are wrapping up things in here. So let's go to the next slide. The color wheel. Okay, a friend of mine will say the color wheel. So in here we will be doing just that. We will be wheeling colors. So as a beginner, if you take this guy serious, should I say seriously, if you steady meditate on this, then you'll be good at colors. Okay, so the color wheel is the foundation of color theory. It organizes colors in a circle to show their relationships. Okay, so whether it is a long distance relationship or short distance, or let's say hookup, let's just go ahead and focus on the types of color wheel. Okay, so we have the 3 points, that's the primary colors or the prime colors. Okay, you have the yellow, we have the blue, we have the red. This is kindergarten, but very important to know. So 1, they cannot be made by mixing other color. 2, the building blocks of all other colors. Okay, every color that you see they all come from this. And you might say, so how do we get white color? It's white a color. Of course, to us designers, white is a color, although it means emptiness or nothing. But if you spin this wheel very fast, they will all merge together and you will see white. That is why, when you pass white light through a glass prism, it shows the LGBT whatever. So we have the 3-point color wheel in here, and I said everything about that. Okay, so we got the 6-point color wheel made of 6 colors, and we get them obtained by mixing 2 primary colors. So if you mix these 2, you get a color. If you mix these 2, you get a color. Okay, so I have red. So if you pick yellow and red, you get orange, red and blue, you get purple, you got yellow and blue, green. Okay, so and they are facing each other. We will talk more about that. And we have the 12-point color wheel. Quickly go through that. So if you mix red and orange, you get this color, red, orange. Yellow, orange, we obtain that by mixing yellow and orange, just as the name goes. Okay, so when you mix this, these are the 6-point, these are the colors on the 6-point. So when you mix them, you get some tertiary colors in there. Okay, so they sum up to get the 12-point color wheel. So we move on to color properties. Color got some properties. We have hue, the pure color. Okay, color, the color itself. We got the value, how light or dark a color is. This is very important. Saturation, intensity, how strong or muted the color is. So it seems like these guys will be in the subsequent videos, they will be based on the value and saturation. Okay, so we are just brushing through, but we will just go deep into that later. So let's look at hue, the color itself. Okay, pure state, avatar state. So over here we got saturation, to brax, chroma, intensity. Okay, the intensity of a color, that's high saturation. And if we dim it down, or like we add gray color to it, we are desaturating it. We are moving it from red to a neutral form. Okay, so the more we add gray color, the more we desaturate a color. Okay, it becomes muted. So this is mixing colors physically, but how about Photoshop? Let me just use the color picker to demonstrate this to you. So let's say we have a shape in Photoshop with this purple color. Okay, now saturation, it is, let's see if it is highly saturated. So let's double click the layer thumbnail. I said we will not use Photoshop, but we are using. Did I lie? No, I didn't lie. This is not highly saturated, not at its pure form. If we bring it here, this color is highly saturated. So if we bring it down, are we desaturating it? No. If we bring it here at the top, moving at the top here, are we desaturating? No. But then what are we doing? Okay, so let's come here. All right, we got value and we got some guys in here. We have tint. Tint is a color plus white. So in the reds, if we add white color, the more we add white color, the more we have tint. Okay, so let's say a pink is a tint of white, red. Okay, because when you are adding white to red, you pass through to get pink. So if we add black, that's shade, we are shading the color down. Okay, we are darkening, we are adding some darkness in there. The color is there, but it is darker. That's called shade. Okay, so a shade of a color, simply adding black to a color, and you will eventually get black. And with this, you eventually get white. And tone of a color, simply gray, adding gray, just like desaturating it. Okay, so this guy right here, this guy that we got here. Okay, if we come to the color picker, for the tint of, if you want to get tint, we simply have over here, it is pure, it is hue. Okay, not mixed, pure state. If we bring it, if we drag it to the left, we have tint. Okay, this, and eventually we get white. So if we move here, that's, we are tinting. If we move left, we are tinting this color down. Okay, so just like, let's say red, this pure red, if we move it here, we are moving into the tint, we eventually get white. Okay, and if we bring it down here, we are shading it down, so this is darker, okay, and we will eventually get black. That's all about it. So how about the tone, or let's say desaturating a color? When you move here, okay, into the grays, but when you get here, this is gray, okay. Is it gray? Yes, this is gray, okay. This is not ash. So what is the difference between gray and ash? So gray is between white and black, but when it comes to ash, you find an undertone color, okay. It will be reddish. Let's say you find an undertone color. So when I push this to blue, you see that it changes to blue, okay. You see an undertone of blue in there, okay. Blue, and you see a color undertone. You won't just see something between white and black just like this, okay. You will see a color. It will be reddish, bluish, whateverish, Irish. So if you want pure gray, you have HSB. We have HSB here, HSB RGB, okay. You can set the B to 50, all right, and it will be pure gray, okay. So desaturating a color, let's say we will be here, okay. If we move closer, if we draw it closer to the gray, we are desaturating it. So when we come here, you can see that we are desaturating. It's moving from pure red to, you know, eventually we get to gray, all right. So somewhere here there's desaturation. We've desaturated a color. You got me, all right. So let's say a typical example, if we add hue and saturation, and we got saturation over here, if we bring it down, you can see it eventually becomes gray, all right. So if you push it, it comes, you know, pure of that color. That is just that, easy peasy, okay. So let's move on to the next slide. Color temperature, okay. So we got warm colors, we got cool colors, we got neutral colors, okay. So the red, yellow, and orange, they are warm colors, okay. They energetic, exciting, attention grabbing colors, okay. They are warm. And then the green, the blue, and the purple, you know, they are cool colors, calming, soothing, and professional. And we got these guys down here, neutral colors, black, white, gray, brown, beige, balanced background, sophistication, and finally color harmony or schemes, okay. So I'm not going to talk much. I'm not even going to say anything about this because that will be in the next video. We'll focus more on this in the next video, but we can't come here without knowing color psychology, because after we just know the goal, the purpose of the flyer, the audience, okay, and then the industry, that's when we come here. But before we could just come here, we have to go through color psychology, that we get to know what color we are coming to pick as the base color or something, okay. So let's jump into color psychology and let's close this video down. So what is color psychology? All right, so color psychology is the study of how colors influence human behavior, emotions, and decision making, okay. So color psychology does is trigger emotional responses, shape perceptions, example trust, danger, or calmness, okay. Influence consumer choices, affect cultural and spiritual symbolism. So if you're a graphic designer and you decide not to consider all these things, then you are not a true designer, or you don't want to be one. So these are the foundations of color psychology. 1. Human perception. Colors are wavelengths of light interpreted by our eyes and brain, okay. They can increase alertness, calm us, or create excitement. You might think that this doesn't work, but it does, okay. Cultural influence, that's number 2. The same color may mean different things across cultures. Example, white purity in the West, mourning in some Asian traditions, okay. Red for love, that's Christmas or something, but red, danger in my country or my hometown, okay. So biological reactions, certain colors affect hormones and nervous system responses. For example, red can increase heart rate and blood pressure. Context matters. A color's meaning can change based on where and how it is used, just like cultural influence, okay. So theories in color psychology, we have A, associative theory. Okay, our brains link colors with past experience and cultural meaning. Example, green for nature and health because of plants. Okay, so when you see green color, it automatically links your brain to nature. Okay, so B, you have psychological result theory. That's colors trigger biological responses. Red excites more adrenaline, faster heartbeat. Blue calms there should be comma, lower stress and slows breathing. Okay, so evolutionary theory, humans evolved to associate colors with survival cues. Red, danger or blood. Yellow, sunlight, spoil food. Green, safety, fertile land. Okay, and we have a color emotion theory. Each color family is connected with universal emotional responses. Example, blue calm, red is passion, black is power, fear. Okay, so we are finally here at the main purpose. Okay, so as the list goes, you find the purpose or the goal, you find the audience, and then you find the industry. Okay, so this is it. And if we look at red, these are the key colors. Okay, if we look at red, depending on the purpose of your flyer, and then let's say the purpose, the industry, and the audience. Excitement, red, that's red. You can come here or go through this. I don't know if you request for this, then I'll send it to you, but there are a lot of images on the web. You can just, so red, excitement, strength, love, energy. Okay, increases appetite, draws attention, raises pulse. So when you are thinking of, let's say you are coming to design a flyer, let's say a food flyer or something that will, the purpose is to raise excitement, strength, love, energy, you can just go for red. Okay, if the brand doesn't give you colors. So use cases, sales, promotions, fast food, logos, warning. And we got orange, confidence, success, playfulness. So what is that? Sociability. Okay, so stimulate excitement and social interaction. Use cases, case brands, sports teams. So that's why normally designers combine red, orange, and yellow when they are designing food flyers, or let's say branding food brands. Okay, so because it is about happiness, warm cheer, confidence, success. It's all about happiness. When people are happy when they are eating. Now we got yellow. Okay, let's move on to green. Nature, healing, freshness, quality. Use cases, environmental, brands, finance, and health. Because when it comes to finance, it's about growth. Okay, green for growth. Nature stuff, it grows. Your money will grow. So you can tap in green when you are dealing with flyers like that. All right, now we got blue. Trust and peace, loyalty, competence. But the key word here is trust, because we use that, let's say banks, tech, healthcare, because when it comes to bank, you have to trust the bank. When you see blue, automatically you feel like, oh, so this is my money is secured. Okay, or they will do whatever it takes to protect my money. That's why you have the trust, loyalty, peace, whatever. Okay, so tech, healthcare, because it's all about trust and peaceful stuff, corporate branding. And we got purple, royalty, we got luxury, we got spirituality and ambition. So we got beauty, that's why you normally see beauty products being labeled or have purple color. So that's luxury and royalty. And we got product meditation. Now we have brown, dependable, rugged, and trustworthy, simple. Food, nature, brands, rustic designs. Okay, we have gray, compassion, sweet, sophistication, sincerity, and we have corporate branding, backgrounds, tech science. And we got black, formality, dramatic, sophistication, securities, uses, luxury, fashion, premium branding. Okay, then we got white, purity, simplicity, innocence, honest. Okay, so for hospitals, minimalist brand, etc., tech, etc. Okay, so once you have your flyer, or let's say somebody tells you, can you do this for me, you first of all have to consider the goal or the problem you're about to solve with the flyer, and then you go ahead and check whether it falls under tech, it falls under health, whatever. You just come up here and then you glance through and you know what colors you should be combining or just pushing to. Okay, if the flyer is about tech, or let's say business, trust, fund, and all of that, you know the colors to go for and all of that. Okay, if it is about food, then you should be, you know, working around these guys, because it's all about happiness and fun and all excitement and all of that. Okay, so let's go to Pinterest and type food flyer and see the main colors that we got there. So if you search food flyer on Pinterest, you can tell the main colors that we are seeing here and why these designers combine these colors. You can see red, orange, yellow, green. Right now you understand why these designers went for these color combinations. They are aligned here, okay, from red to green for the food flyers that we search on Pinterest. Okay, now let's look at the use cases of the blue. So we got banks, tech, healthcare, corporate branding. Now let's try searching tech and finance and let's say healthcare flyers on Pinterest and see the colors that we have there. So I search tech flyers and you can tell the colors. Every designer, almost 99% of the flyers you see here went for blue. Okay, yeah, I see red over there, but what you see is blue. Everywhere is blue, not Chelsea though. And these are finance flyers. Okay, so you can see green, you can see blue. The green goes for the growth. Okay, when you talk in terms of growth, that's where we see green in finance flyers, and blue security, and just as we talked about. So let's look at the use cases for the purple. So we got beauty, high-end products, meditation. So let's search fashion, or let's see beauty flyers on Pinterest and see the colors that we get. So searching fashion flyers on Pinterest, you can see the main colors over here. Okay, we got purple popping up in there. All right, and then we have health flyers. Okay, so we got blue in there, we got green in there, you know, they all go with health. All right, so now let's go into agric. Let me try searching agric and see the colors. After agric, we will see green. So there we have it. When you type agriculture flyers on Pinterest, all you see is green and yellow. Okay, all right, so let's look at the ladies side. Now let's try searching for beauty flyers on Pinterest and see what do we get. Bam, you see the colors that we are having right here. Pinks, purple, brown, you know, green for those eco products. All right, but mostly pinks, purple, browns due to brown skin stuffs in here. And this is education. So education always goes with blue and green for growth. You know, your child's brain growing in a secured, serene environment. Okay, so through the color psychology that we discussed, you now know why these designers went for certain colors that we saw through the searches. Okay, so now the main question is, how do you create your own color palette and balance it with other colors to create harmony? And that's exactly what the next video is all about. It will answer this bigger question that we got on the table. Okay, so kindly subscribe if you don't want to miss that video. Like this video, leave a comment below, and make sure to check out this Adobe After Effects crash course on motion flyers.